Senator Dixon, would you like to lead us in the fight song today?
I don't want to disturb anyone, but I'll say it quietly if that's okay.
If you're in the library, you'll have to do it.
You know what to do.
To the Charleston Tigers, we're to
the black and gold.
Tigers.
I know
Okay. So good. I love how everyone was actually whispering, which is amazing. Alrighty. We are gonna hop right in then. Woo, hold on. Never mind. That wasn't right. Let's try that one.
What happened?
I was trying to share the screen and it
Oh, okay.
No, I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. Okay. Great. Or maybe you guys could see it. I just couldn't see it. Anyway, here we go. And we'll move into roll call. Attorney General Robinson.
Okay. Treasurer Yeagle,
Present.
Vice President DeVoe,
Present.
President Dion, Chief of Staff Ambush,
Present.
Director Nduka,
Present.
Assistant Director Walton, Assistant Director Bello, Director Whiteside,
Here.
Director Fishkin,
Present.
Director Chiskovka,
Present.
Director Perot, Director Kapoor,
Present.
Assistant Director Ferguson,
Present.
Solicitor General Whiting,
Present.
Director White,
Present.
Director Moody,
Present.
Director Diame,
Present.
Director Brown,
Present.
Director Kemp,
Present.
Director Hogarth,
Present.
Assistant Director Banks, Representative Luminar, Director Sadiq, Assistant Director Truesdale, Pro Temp Wheeler,
Present.
Senator Dixon,
Present.
Senator Watts,
Present.
Senator Kinsey,
Present.
Senator Goodman,
Present.
Senator Harding, Senator Tessie,
Present.
Senator Teklu,
Present.
Senator Eaglin,
Present.
Senator Rink,
Present.
Senator Thaxton,
Present.
Chief Justice Foreman,
Present.
Deputy Justice Sherman,
Present.
Justice Egunine. Thank you, everyone.
Amazing. All right. We'll now move into the approval of the minutes. Are there any amendments to the last meeting's minutes? Hearing none, we'll consider them approved. Next, we'll move into the amendments to the agenda. Are there any amendments? I will scroll through so you guys can see if I messed up again. All right. Hearing none, we'll follow the agenda as written. Today we have a guest speaker. Today, I know we already heard from Chris Rindosh, so we will move directly into housing and residence life with Kelly Hoover. Are you here with us?
I am. I also have a colleague with me as well. So Malik can say hello real quick.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Malik Turner, Resident Life Coordinator at Pega House. Definitely looking forward to this conversation. It's definitely an honor, so I definitely appreciate y'all time and efforts.
Thank you so much. And Chief of Staff Ambush, I don't know if you have a presentation.
We do not have a presentation.
That's fine. You don't have to. Just wanted to make sure you had access to it if you needed it.
Thank you.
The floor is all yours, and we'll save questions till the end, everyone.
Thank you. So I wanted to join you all tonight. Thanks for having us. For those who I haven't met before, my name is Kelly Hoover. I use she and her pronouns, and I am the Assistant Vice President in Housing and Residence Life. And our hope tonight to spend a little bit of time with you is to talk with you about our strategic plan. So as you know, the university has just recently unveiled the university strategic plan last week, I believe. And we are in process of developing a strategic plan for housing and residence life. And so really our presence here tonight, mine and Malik, is not so much to do a presentation with you, but really to ask some questions of you and get some feedback and some insight from you all to help inform that plan. So what we are looking at is a pathway for our department over the next 5 years. And our goal really is to position Towson as a residential university where learning is transcending the classroom. And we want to be sure that our work is aligning with both the university and student affairs divisional priorities. And we're hoping to strengthen and sustain our organizational structure and operations really in service to the students. So the purpose of us being here with you all tonight is to involve you as key stakeholders in the process and help us to generate ideas and areas for growth. We want to understand kind of truly what the lived experience is from the student voice and help us generate some solutions and actions that will help move us forward. So we're gonna move into just some questions, and I know that we probably are not gonna get through the number of questions that we had devised for this group tonight, just because our time with you all is so short. So we'll jump into those, and just know that Malik and I are gonna take turns asking questions and taking notes and get some feedback. And if we feel like there's still some more territory that we want to cover, we might devise a short little survey that we can send out to you all to just get some of those answers. So I'm going to turn things over to Malik to ask the first question.
Thank you, Kelly. So for the first question, how can HRL enhance the student experience at Towson University? And so depending on how y'all want to flow through the questions, they want to make sure we can just get as much participation as possible.
You all can either use the raise hand feature or utilize the chat, however you wish to engage. Director Brown?
I apologize, but may you please repeat that question?
Yes, I'll repeat. And I'll put in the chat feature as well. So for the first question, how can HRL enhance the student experience at Towson University?
Well, all I know is that on top of like academics, like the social aspect of college is the main reason why people attend and what they take the most from it. And, you know, people meet my closest friends are the friends I met on my floor my freshman year. That shows you how important like HRL is to the Towson, like to the, you know, college experience. So I guess like really honing in on like trying to make the on-campus experience as sociable as possible. And I know that's kind of difficult to think of right now because like with the pandemic, but like if we're thinking for like a future plan, like trying to really hone in on that social aspect because, you know, especially like I feel like we have to play catch up with these underclassmen because, you know, they're just now allowed to have visitors. And even then only can have one every 24 hours. So like their social aspect was being kind of cut with social distancing and everything. So I feel like it needs to be prioritized to hone in on that social aspect of college because the community that you surround yourself with, it gets you through, like you cannot do it by yourself. So I think that's something to like really put in an exclamation point in y'all like strategic plan going forward.
Any other comments? I'm looking for hands. Yes.
Actually,
Sorry. Senator Goodman, what was that?
I guess my question is, in terms of like, what have you done so far to enhance the the experience for those who are on campus during this difficult time. I guess I just, and probably some other people here want to know from like an outside, because I've lived on campus all my time at Towson pretty much until this whole pandemic thing started. But I guess for everyone who is not on campus right now, it would be good for us to know, like as an outsider's perspective looking in, like what is going on right now to address that, isolation people on campus are feeling.
Sure. So I'll answer that just briefly, and then kind of turn it back to get some feedback. It's been really difficult. It's been a huge challenge this year. So we've obviously with de-densification and everybody in singles, right? The relationships that people are able to build hasn't quite been the same with the inability to have in-person events and those types of things. So our RA staff, I know some of them are in this space, have continued to do outreach individually to residents and tried to do some engagement virtually. It's just not the same sort of experience as the in-person kind of full occupancy has been. It's not ideal. I'll say that. I think that we're trying to make inroads, but I think folks are tentative to want to engage, and without those relationships kind of pre-built or pre-established, having happened in person, the response to even virtual engagement has been somewhat low. And so we're really looking forward to a reset going into next academic year. And part of what this strategic plan really is meant to do is to capitalize on things like student learning that takes place in the residence halls, that capitalizes on community and belonging and inclusion and equity. And those are themes that we've already identified as like key areas of focus for us, particularly for the student experience.
Director Kapoor? Sorry.
Jump back to that question, yes.
Director Kapoor? Sorry, maybe I missed.
No, thank you. Was that the end of that question?
Or did we want further elaboration on that question before we go to the next question?
Yes,
I think
that was.
Okay, solid. If you need further explanation, please feel free to ask. But yes, Director Kapoor.
Okay, I was just gonna say possibly some ideas. I know RAs are already trying their hardest with like getting students engaged and doing what they can, but maybe what building staff can do also, like maybe not so it's more floor organized, but more community organized, being that there's so many less students in a space as is, maybe having a day for like West Village community get out, or like Glen Towers community, or like the other side near Scarborough and Newell. So like maybe those more community days. So it's not necessarily just the 10 students on your floor, but it's more like a broadened, it would have to be also like, of course, in an open space, but maybe something larger.
I see some comments in the chat. Chief of Staff Ambush, do you mind reading those off when they come up in the chat in Zoom? Otherwise, I can do it. If you're monitoring the YouTube, that's okay too.
Yes. Can you do it? Sorry.
I can copy down the comments in the chat in my note taking.
That's fine. It's really for people who are watching that aren't in the Zoom.
Oh, gotcha. Thanks, Jordan.
No worries. Okay, so you can read your comments out if you feel comfortable. Senator Rank, you want to start?
Yeah, so sorry. I just wanted to get it out of my head before I forgot it. I just said that at least in my experience living on campus, I lived in Prettyman, and my RA was really the vehicle for me to meet other students my freshman year. And I think even more so now that there's less students in the buildings and there's more restrictions. But I just said that I feel like RAs are the key to campus involvement and like campus community. And just, I know with COVID, a lot of RAs felt really, they had a lot of issues and they didn't feel like they were valued. So I think moving forward, making sure that they feel respected and valued is really what like empowers them to be there for their students. And then that bond that they create is what lets freshmen feel confident enough to get involved on campus.
Director Brown?
Yeah, that's also a great point. To go back to what Director Kapoor mentioned earlier about how to have like sections of like the campus go on like events, like have like a get together for them to like socialize, but like at least like keep it like section by section. Maybe like during Welcome to You, because I know that's a very like catalyst time where students are trying to build their community, especially within like their dorms, because that's all they know. Like we could have like an event on the football stadium in each like section of the on campus housing areas, like go one at a time, that have to go through the event, and like it gives them like an extra chance to really socialize and get to know each other, but also like I guess make it a little bit organized and it's one by one. And then also like make sure that they're actually socializing with people like that they live around too, like people they're going to see again, because that's another thing. Like you meet a lot of people, but then you never see them again because they're not in your proximity. So that's I was thinking of all that while Director Kapoor was like giving her spill. So that'll be a cool note to write down if you want to do something like that.
Senator Eaglin?
Yeah, another idea I had, I know my sophomore year, I was in building council for Tower C. And I think if HR will just work with their building council more and gave like them ideas on how to like create community, I think that would be very helpful. And also just again, just giving a lot of support to RAs, because I just know writing the resolution from last semester, it was just really hard for them, especially during COVID, and they didn't feel like they had.
Chief of Staff Ambush?
Yeah, to kind of build on top of that, I think helping URG, especially work closer with like SGA. I know just because of like scheduling conflicts, there hasn't been a URG representative on SGA for I think 3 years. So, maybe helping URG and SGA like facilitate a better relationship together for future years, I think can really help maybe like strengthen each other, give more perspectives, and stuff like that.
Assistant Director Ferguson?
Thank you. Hi there. So my freshman year, I lived on the political engagement floor, and I can honestly say that like living on that floor freshman year changed my whole entire life. Like I met awesome friends. I got great experiences out of it. But it's so crazy how like from freshman year to sophomore year, I noticed such a difference in the type of community I had on my floor. And so the idea that I was going to pose is to kind of treat every floor as if it's its own community, because whether or not it's in a formal or informal capacity, it's still a group of students that are trying to find a sense of belonging. So I feel like if you use that type of extrinsic motivation to all of the floors and not just like the political engagement floor or the community service floor, I think that might be really beneficial for all students as well.
I have to say I agree with that, and I think that you got that also. It should be essential for every floor you should like make it like an incentive almost for like RAs to, or you really shouldn't make it an incentive, like make it like almost like a requirement for RAs to try to get some sort of community activity at least once every 2 weeks or once every month for people on that floor. That way, everybody has the opportunity to go, and people that ordinarily wouldn't, or might feel isolated by the community otherwise would be able to join in on activities. I personally feel like I would have definitely benefited from that if, I had that opportunity. When I first transferred here and went to Millennium Hall, I felt very isolated because it seemed like there was nothing really going on. And on the floors on Millennium Hall, it really seemed like they really just didn't have any activities like that. Well, there were like full building activities, just didn't seem like those were advertised enough. And, even being on building council, it just didn't seem like that relation with building council and SGA wasn't really evident. And we really need more connection with building council and SGA. So.
All right. I see a couple of points in the chat from Director Brown. Let's see. Would you like to read those off, Director Brown, or the highlights from those?
Oh, it was just an exclamation point on what Senator England was talking about earlier about the URG like engagement with HRO. Like I know I'm an RA, so I know like URG has been like halted a lot this year and stuff. So like I really think it should be pushed a lot harder and faster in the beginning of semester, especially in like underclassmen dorms next year, because it's just an extra branch of like student engagement HRO can use to keep this conversation about a strategic plan going. Like not only that, I appreciate you guys are coming to us too, but also like to even get a closer in-depth look about the day-to-day stuff to build that better relationship with URG as well. I would love to see like events that you have like in store, like definitely use us, but also like URG as well to really specialize and understand what the students on campus need.
I also think it would be beneficial to like have some of this ongoing dialogue during perhaps like the summer as you all return and think about what that plan looks like for coming back. I think also, I'm not sure if Assistant Director Ferguson, can you answer me this? The learning community you were in, was that freshman year?
Yes, it was.
Okay, so my question was, I don't know if other people have experienced it, but like the peer to RA relationship and just overall experience freshman year versus your years that follow might be a lot different. And yes, it might be no one wants to be treated like a freshman if they're a junior or senior. Obviously that relationship should be different and mature, but I think you should have the same attention to detail and like delicacy and still same concern for students like you would if they were new to campus that year, because they're still new, just new in a different way. But anyway, so I thought that I'd throw that in there. Director Kapoor, I see your hand is up.
No, Vice President DeVoe, that perfectly went into what I was going to say. I was just going to further go into that. I thought this is like the perfect area for like an open dialogue going forward. I think this is a really good conversational starter to like how HRL can further like do more things in the dorms or do more things in the community of Towson that maybe aren't only in the dorms. So maybe like bringing this conversation not only to SGA, but other groups of students or student leaders, SAGE mentors, or orientation leaders, other groups of student leaders that we see on campus would also probably have a lot of experience in HRL and would be great at answering these questions as well.
Right. Any other questions or comments? If not, anything you wanted, I guess, were there more questions? Never mind. I'm going to give the floor back to you all. I don't know why.
Thanks, Jordan. I just want to be mindful of your time and your agenda. And so I'll share a couple things in response to some of the feedback that you've given. We are actually meeting with URG next tonight to get some feedback, and we've done some focus groups already with our community center staff and our community center managers. And I visited all the RA staff teams over the course of the last several weeks. So getting feedback from all of those student stakeholders as well. But again, one goal that we had as a department for this year was really to be incorporating more student voice in our decision making. And so it's been a great pleasure to be with you all tonight and to have worked with some of you over the course of this last academic year as we've tried to get that feedback and keep you all informed in a better way than maybe we have previously. So appreciate that. We did have a whole bunch more questions, but I think that in light of time, I don't want to open up too far and not be able to keep you all on track with your agenda. So Jordan, yeah.
I had a question. So if you send those questions to us, we can put that into just a quick Google form and have people that feel led to reply so you can get those responses. We don't want, just for the sake of time, to feel crunched. But yeah, please, if you could send those, that would be awesome.
Absolutely. I would be happy to do that. So I'll just send those directly to you, Jordan.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, great. So Malik and I are so happy to have been with you tonight. I think this was a good start of a conversation. Clearly, like there's a lot more depth there. I appreciate your insight. Definitely like hearing some things about RA staff and making sure that they are having a positive experience because of the influence and the ability that they have to create a really positive experience for the students that are living in their floors. Heard some things also about learning communities and how kind of pivotal and transformative those have been. And so just for those who might be interested to know, that is going to be a huge cornerstone of our strategic plan moving forward, seeing those learning communities not only enhance the ones that we have, but also growing so that more and more students, particularly those first-year students, are having a really solid integration into the university. And then also kind of hearing what that experience is like and how it changes from kind of that freshman year to sophomore, junior, senior year, and really wanting to honor the autonomy that students have as they progress through their years, but also kind of recognizing that there's still a desire and a want for a sense of community and connection and support. And so trying to figure out ways in which we can embed that into that experience. So again, thank you all so much. Malik, you want to say good night?
Oh, yeah, definitely won't take too much of the space, but definitely want to thank y'all. Kind of it's my first time entering this space to facilitate this conversation. But look at y'all running deep, a lot of numbers in here. Definitely I want to give y'all flowers and continue the efforts y'all doing. But thank you again for the space. Looking forward to have more feedback and putting things to action and implementing things for the further future. So thank you.
And one thing before you two leave, we may have an opening in a more closed space for like a pre-meeting that happens on Thursdays at 5. If we do have an opening for that, we can reach out to you all. Also, if you want those questions answered, but we'll let you know. Thank you so much for coming and sharing with us today.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye. Thank you. Alrighty, now we'll move into our next item of business. Wait a minute. Can you all see?
Yeah.
Okay, great. All right, we'll move into public participation and student concerns. Are there any student concerns today? All right. If not, we'll move into communications. Advisors' remarks. Oh, excuse me. Sorry about that. Advisor Bailey received his vaccine and is experiencing some pain and side effects. So he's not with us today, and neither is President DeYoung for the same reason. So I will be giving her report later on, but they're doing okay and they're fine. So yeah, we'll move on to Appropriations Committee.
No report.
Government Operations Committee.
Hello, everyone. The committee deemed resolution, I think 36, favorable with amendments, and that is all for today.
Great. Hold on one second. Oh, HRL pre-meeting would be great. That would be awesome to have an open forum, but we're going to table that discussion later on. Okay. We'll move on to Rules Committee.
Happy Tiger Tuesday, everyone. I just want to let you guys know the Rules Committee, we're currently reviewing the SGA financial policy. And with that, I yield.
Your hair looks beautiful. Okay, so yes, President DeYoung's report, and just for the sake of continuity, I'll just give whatever announcements I have at the same time. So the USMSC bills supported in 2021 are the Student and Military Voter Empowerment Act, the Jordan McNair Fair Play Act, the Student Fee Transparency Bill, requiring mental health crisis lines on student ID cards, the Graduate Student Right to Collectively Bargain Act, the Future Act, the Hunger Free Campus Act, and yes, those are the bills supported by the USMSC. And also, like Chris mentioned earlier, President DeYoung wanted to reiterate, registration for SGA elections is closing soon at the end of the week on Friday at 4 p.m. So please register in time if you're interested, and keep SGA strong into the next administration. So that is for SGA here, as well as those watching online. Please register for SGA elections, which is coming up soon. President DeYoung and myself met with Dr. Hurt this week, as well as a body of administrators to talk about returning to TU in a safe manner in response to COVID. So some things that were discussed on were vaccine rollout. The university has requested to find whatever way to provide that for students that is in line with what the state's able to do. Just to give a little context, Prince George's County, where University of Maryland is, they have a little bit more leeway because they're having a little bit more difficulty getting people to get the vaccine in Prince George's County versus Baltimore County has wait lists for days. So that puts us in a little bit of a harder situation when getting access to enough of the vaccine, but we are in discussions about that right now. And we also spoke about SGA sponsoring an event to promote camaraderie about getting vaccines and education around the vaccine and things like that. And the Director of Health and Wellness, if you are open to talking about that, we would love to talk with you about that soon. And graduations coming up are basically the first stretch of the university looking into in-person programming, but it would be following the state's guidelines or amended COVID guidelines with 50% density. For that would be our 2020 as well as 2021 graduates. So it would be a series of graduations over the course of few days. So yeah, so that's really all that's going on in terms of those meetings. And also I saw a question about the expense reports in the GroupMe, so I thought I would address that also. So it says one of the mandatory requirements for running for SGA is to turn in an expense form by April 27th at 10 a.m. So that's basically saying what you spent money on during your campaign. If I'm correct, don't quote me, but in the past it's been $1,000 cap for SGA elections. I believe that's the same this year. So you would just have to provide documentation of the things that you spent money on, so everyone has a fair opportunity to campaign and run a strong campaign, and not have money be a factor as much, I guess, in having disproportionate amounts of money spent on campaigning. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. But at the end of the campaign, you'd be required to turn that in. So yeah, that is all. Oh, in the Senate, if you can hang back for 2 seconds, I just have a question about a student organization and who is their senator, but I'm not going to say that now just because it's more of a private concern. So just hang back for 2 seconds. But yeah, with that, we yield. Treasurer Yigal.
No report this week.
Attorney General Robinson.
Hi, everyone. Happy Cyber Tuesday. So with election coming up, please, I feel like I can speak for all of exec when I say this. Please feel free to reach out if you have any questions for us regarding our positions and the experience of going through elections, because we are more than happy to help if you're interested in running for one of our positions. And as the semester comes to an end, please don't forget to give me any heads up you might have about any schedule changes. I understand exams get crazy, and let's get through this semester. And with that, I yield.
And if you are interested, thank you so much for that. And coming back to SGA next year, please, as registration opens for classes, GA and pre-meeting are at the same time every year. So just keep that in mind. Director Moody, question.
Yeah, hey everyone. I just wanted to know if you had a date for like the last pre-meeting and the last General Assembly.
Chief of Staff Ambush, do you have that on hand?
So inauguration is going to be the last day of classes, which is a Tuesday. So we will not have GA that day. So I'm pretty sure the last GA, if I'm correct, will be the first Tuesday of May. And the last pre-meeting, I'm pretty sure is going to be the last Thursday in April because banquet's supposed to happen the first Thursday in May. So there's only 2 or 3 more pre-meetings left. So if you really desperately want a pre-meeting, text me right now.
Awesome. Thank you. Great question. But yeah, if you have any other questions about that, feel free to contact Chief of Staff Ambush, and that'll be fixed in the band calendar as well. I believe it goes up to the second week in May, but if it's the first week in May, we'll fix that. All right, Department of Academic Affairs.
Hi guys, happy Tiger Tuesday. All I had to say was that thank you to everyone that showed up. Oh, you forgot Chief of Staff. Jordan, you forgot Olivier.
I'm sorry, because you were just talking, I think in my head, it got confused. I'm so sorry. Yeah. Forgive me. Chief of Staff Ambush.
All right, happy Target Tuesday, everyone. I'll keep it short. First, the banquet form should have been filled out today at 5 o'clock. After GA, I'm closing it. So that needs to be filled out because like with COVID guidelines and it's a lot of people, like we need to figure out which space we're getting because it's gonna be a lot. So I am closing it right after GA. Like once the live stream goes down, like click and close. So yeah, this is your like 2-ish hour extension right now. Even if you're not going, please fill it out. This just so I, make sure like where everyone is at. So I just dropped something in the GroupMe with fossil fuel divestment. So Director Perot just dropped our entire social media thing about fossil fuel divestment. The TU Foundation is divesting from fossil fuels. You can read all of the details in the social media thing. It's on Instagram. It dropped literally, I think like 30 minutes ago. To give you the basic details, they are moving towards divestment. They stopped all direct divestment and all kind of more indirect divestments. They are slowing down. Again, their full statement and all the details are on Instagram. I'll put it on GroupMe afterwards. So that is very, very exciting. There was one more thing. In terms of campaigning, the SGA GroupMes are both official SGA communications. You are not allowed to promote your campaign in the SGA GroupMes. I will ask for a PDR. This is again because like those are official SGA channels. So you cannot promote on the SGA GroupMes. You cannot use the SGA social media. You cannot promote yourself at SGA events. So make sure like in your position in SGA, you are not allowed to be advertising your campaign. You must advertise your campaign outside of official SGA time. So during meetings, you cannot be promoting yourself during GA because obviously GA is wholly dedicated to legislation and things like that. So just make sure when you're campaigning that you just stop yourself and it's like, is this an official SGA channel, meaning the GroupMes, or official SGA event? Other than that, with that, I yield.
Thank you. And we'll pass it back to the Department of Academic Affairs. My apologies for that. Go ahead.
You're good. So happy Tiger Tuesday, everyone. I just had a few announcements. Again, thank you to everyone who showed up to It's On Us. It was like really fun seeing y'all, and like y'all asked a lot of great questions. It was really good. Just remember to like contact Dr. Bradley if you guys have any more questions, or me or Director Sadiq if you guys had more questions or wanted to know more ways you can get involved in the initiative. Also, I've had the University Curriculum Committee meeting and Academic Standards meeting this week, and there has been points brought up about the textbook affordability bill that we brought up, and also there's been talks about major and minor requirements. So if you guys have any more questions on that, you can contact me. And with that, I yield.
Thank you so much. All right, we'll move to Department of Campus Activities.
Hey everybody, first I want to thank President Indiong and Vice President DeVoe for coming to our Met Gala event yesterday. It was really fun, so thank you for the support. Tonight we are having an event with Weekends at TU. It's a DJ battle, so definitely come support that. And just, for the rest of the week, we're having our full Tiger Fest week of events. So tomorrow, of course, our Giveon concert. Wednesdays, our showcase, and then Fridays are all around the world themed day. So just come out and support. Thank you. With that, I yield.
Thank you so much. It was so fun, guys. Please go out to their events this week. All right. Next, we will move to Department of Civic Engagement.
Hello, everyone. I hope you are all doing well. Yesterday, I had a meeting with Jaden from Freshman Council, and the Earth Week plans are officially, I think, put out on the Instagram, and it'll be a week of Earth Day. You get to learn a lot of stuff. There will be cool speakers. And so, yeah, just be on the lookout for that. I won't take too much time about that because I'm sure Freshman Council will say more stuff about that. I am also still in communication with the Andrew Goodman Foundation on an event they would like to collaborate with. And yeah, with that, I yield.
Thank you so much. So excited about Earth Week. Yay. Okay, so now we'll move to Department of Communications. Department of Communications. Okay, we'll circle back if you had to go to the restroom, but I thought you were here. All right, Department of Community Outreach.
Well, I just wanted to thank the Department of Communications for highlighting Pot of Gold on the Instagram feed. It was really nice. Definitely look forward to doing that again. I think the Department of Community Outreach should definitely keep that as a tradition, probably for ABM and the dining services. So yeah, thank you again for the Department of Communications for highlighting that event.
Yay, it was so fun. You guys go like and share and all that good stuff. My bad, Director Perot was here with us in spirit. I got confused again. All right, Department of Diversity and Inclusion.
Happy Tiger Tuesday, everyone. I just want to first acknowledge any emotions that anybody may be feeling today, given the trials of George Floyd, and trigger warning, given the recent murder of another unarmed Black man. Please take good care of yourselves. I don't really want to mention any events or anything that's coming up with school right now. I strictly want to acknowledge any feelings and any emotions that may be on anyone's heart today, and introduce this as a space for people to be able to bring any emotions and any feelings that they are feeling to this work as of right now. So please just feel what you need to feel. Take a break, answer an email a day late if you have to. Do what you need to do to take good care of yourselves and be very mindful of your presence in the gift of life, in the gift of perseverance and energy and emotion. So please take good care of you all selves during this time. Thank you. With that, I yield.
You can take a brief moment of silence. Thank you so much for that, Director White. Thank you so much. All right, we'll now move on to Department of Health and Wellness. Department of Higher Education.
Hi everyone, nothing too big to report. I'm on the Dean's Advisory Council for the College of Education, and we are meeting next Wednesday. And she just wants to know if there are any student concerns or questions regarding the College of Education. So if any ed majors have any questions, just reach out to me and I'll bring them up in the meeting. With that, I yield.
Thank you. And excuse me, Director of Health and Wellness is excused. and is absent today. Now we'll move into Department of Legislative Affairs.
Hi everyone, happy Tiger Tuesday. I just wanted to say the Maryland General Assembly did close yesterday. A lot of the delegates I'm still talking to about potentially meeting to discuss bills that did not make it through or that were vetoed. So they're still hoping to meet with everybody, and I was able to contact the sponsors of the Senate Bill 88. So they are also very excited and hopeful for it to kind of continue to pan out in the next legislative session. I also wanted to say thank you very much, Director White. That was very much needed and a very sweet announcement. But I hope you're all doing well, and I will keep you updated. And with that, I yield.
Thank you. Department of Special Projects.
Hi everyone, happy Tuesday. So thank you all for submitting your SALA nominations if you guys did. The first award ceremony is going to be online. It is on Wednesday, May 5th at around, I think, 6 p.m. It's at 6 p.m. So that is going to be broad streamed on Facebook Live and Instagram. So I'll send the link to that later on. And if you actually are a recipient of the award, there will be an in-person ceremony later on that you'll be contacted. So that's great news. Second, events have been great this year, so thank you guys so much for that. I think the form's closing out. I'm not sure if there's going to be any more with time. And if anyone's interested in taking or possibly being director of special projects or assistant director of special projects, me and my assistant director, Courtney Ferguson, are here for any questions. With that, I yield.
Thank you so much. Department of Marketing.
No report.
Thank you. Department of Student Organizations.
Hi guys, happy Tiger Tuesday. So as Chris said, that the voting is now available online for student government, I believe. He sent his email in the chat. If you want the link, I can forward that to anybody. As for any other report, if you guys have any questions about budget deadlines, I can forward that information to you guys as well, but it should have been sent out. Again, I know the weekly email thing has been problematic, to say the least. I am trying to figure out where the breakdown is happening. Like I said, I've been contacting the, the technology office, and they're running a diagnostic. So bear with me. At this point, I'm just going to say, if you guys have any questions about deadlines or upcoming events, please do not hesitate to email me personally. Also, if your student organizations, senators, have any questions about any specifics, you can forward them my Sign Up Genius. It's in the bottom part of my signature in every email that I send out. But again, if you want that, I can send that anytime you need it. And with that, I yield.
Thank you, Director Hogarth. And there is a student organization tab on the towsonsga.org website. If you'd like, you can work with Director Perot to keep that up to date if for some reason the email thing isn't able to be resolved. So yeah, you can refer the Senate there also, and you can update that with whatever information you need. But thank you so much for your comprehensive report. Now we'll move on to Department of New Student Development.
Hello again, everyone. Nothing really this week. I just want to remind everyone about the Freshman Council Earth Week events next week. I think they're off from 6 to 7, I believe. So I'm just going to remind you about that, but I'm sure our president will speak on that. With that, I yield.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We are so excited. Do we have Towson University Northeastern representative today? If not, I don't see her, but we love you. All right, now we'll move on to Athletic Affairs representative. Okay, we'll move on down to Freshman Council representative.
Hey everyone. Yeah. So basically Earth Week's coming up, and
Jaden and Gigi worked really hard to our events, all the council. So if you're interested, just look at that. And I'm sure people will be advertising it in the big group me. So yeah, thank you. With that, I yield.
Thank you so much, Office of the Solicitor General.
Happy Tiger Tuesday, everyone. So the Black Comic Book Festival was this past weekend, and it was a very big success. I want to thank everyone who came out, as well as give a special shout out to Pro Temp Wheeler and Director Perot for all of their hard work, just with the communication on the website, as well as just reaching out to people for me. I could not have accomplished it without you guys. I do have some things coming up, but I will wait till the next meeting to speak on them. And with that, I will yield.
Amazing. Thank you so much. All right, now we'll move into new business.
Sorry, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Oh, no, I was doing the mic and it wasn't. Okay. Anyway, are there any motions on the floor?
Senator Rank, I move that we review Senate Bill number 4.
Is there a second?
Senator Teddy, I second.
Is there any discussion? If not, then we'll now move into a vote to review Senate Bill number 4. All those in favor? Oh, now what's the Senate count for today?
Give me 1 second.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so we have 9 senators today. Okay, and I counted 9 in favor. Director Core, did you get the same amount, the same number?
Yeah, 9 in favor.
Thank you so much. Okay, now we're going to review Senate Bill number 4.
Pro Temp Wheeler, just wanted to say there are no opinions of the court. My apologies for skipping that in the agenda earlier.
Oh. Okay, everyone. So we're going to be going over some changes that we have discussed at Rules Committee that should be done to the standing rules of order. And yes, we all will follow the rules. So yeah. Okay, so the change we made was specifically to Article 8, Section 1, Subsection A, Subsection C. I know it's a lot of sections, I know. But specifically to Subsection C, we wanted to add in as determined by the Attorney General because before it said if a person is absent from GA from a large portion of time, and it wasn't very specific as to what that large portion of time was. And so we just thought it'd be best to let that be determined or to the Attorney General's discretion. And then also for subsections A and B, it also says as determined by the Attorney General. So we wanted just to keep it consistent. Okay, any questions, comments, or concerns? If not, then we'll vote on Senate Bill number 4 as a whole. All those in favor? All opposed? Abstaining? Okay. Thank you, Assistant Director Ferguson. The vote is 9 in favor. With that, the motion passes. All right, are there any motions on the floor?
Senator Goodman here. I move that we review Senate Bill number 5.
Is there a second?
Senator Kinsey, I second.
Is there any discussion? If not, then we'll now move into a vote to review Senate Bill number 5. All those in favor?
Point of
Opposed?
clarification. No,
Yes.
point of clarification, there were no changes made, just so everyone knows.
Nine in favor.
Thank you, Director Kapoor. And with that, the motion passes. Okay, so we're now reviewing Senate Bill number, wait. Vice President, a quick question. Are we still going to add in the clause for Senate Bill number 5 or not?
No, just because the election begins this Friday. Oh, excuse me. So yeah, if you all have any concerns concerning the election, please direct them to the Election Commission. But as of right now, we'll accept that rules found nothing wrong with the election policy as it currently stands.
Okay, great. And then we still have to vote on it as a whole, even though we voted to review, correct? Okay, sure. Okay, so again, there were no changes made to the election policy document, so we're just going to vote on it as a whole or vote on it as is. All those in favor? Opposed? Abstaining?
Eight in favor.
Okay. Thank you so much, Director Kapoor. 8 in favor, the motion passes. Senator Dixon, your hand was raised.
Sorry, I accidentally hit that.
Okay, no problem. You're
Thank
fine.
you. I appreciate it.
No problem. Okay, are there any motions on the floor?
Senator Kinsey, I move review resolution number 36.
Is there a second?
Senator Rank, I second.
Is there any discussion? If not, we'll now move into a vote to review resolution number 36. All those in favor?
Sorry, I didn't hear. Did you ask for discussion, Lanice, before we voted? Did I miss out on that?
Oh, no, no, it's that Senator Dixon, somebody in the chat has said she had her hand raised, so I wanted to make sure I didn't miss over her. She might have had a question about the previous bill.
Oh, no, my question was when somebody seconded, did we discuss before we voted on to review resolution 36?
Yeah.
Because I had a comment I wanted, or question I wanted to ask before we voted to review it.
Oh, sorry about that. Completely right. So is there any discussion about reviewing resolution 36? Sorry about that, guys. That vote doesn't count.
Okay, so can I ask my question?
You can go ahead.
Okay, I know Vice President DeVoe had mentioned possibly tabling the resolution. I was just wondering if we are still doing that or we should just go through with reviewing that resolution today.
Vice President DeVoe?
Yeah, sorry. I could have put it in the chat. I didn't know if you could see me. But it's up to you all. If you feel the only reason why I suggested that we perhaps table it is because it looked like it was missing a bit of research to justify the concern. But you all can take a look at it if the Senate wishes to review it today and have the first reading of it today and then table it to new business. I'm sorry. unfinished business next week, that's fine too, but it's really up to you all how you wish to proceed.
And before I ended this conversation, I was just gonna say, in GovOps, we did want to table it too because we felt as though it was a bit kind of incomplete. So with that being said, and Vice President DeVoe's comment, it is up to our discretion, I guess, to table this, but I would suggest tabling it. But you get to pick, which I'm gonna do it.
I recommend that you all look at it today, and you can vote during the discussion to table it if you wish, just so the rest of the Senate can see what you're referencing.
Also, just to add into that, the senator might have more information they would like to say, and it might not just be written on the bill. So yeah, I would say let's review it first. Okay, so is there any further discussion? If not, then we'll now move into a vote to review resolution number 36. All those in favor? All opposed? Abstaining? Okay, vote count is 8 in favor. Thank you, Assistant Director Ferguson. With that, the motion passes. We're now in resolution.
9 in favor now.
I was like, can you repeat that again?
It's 9 in favor now.
Thank you so much. Okay, we're now reviewing resolution number 36. Is there any I'm sorry, Senator Akinci, would you like to speak on this bill's behalf?
Yeah, so a student recently came to SGA with the concerning issue of group projects and would like for it to be removed from online settings. Group projects online is not convenient at all when it comes to working together. There's always students that don't communicate as well, have Wi-Fi issues, are currently at work, or just not doing their part in general. Group projects are usually a grade shared amongst the group and are worth like around 50 to 100 points. So having individuals participating in individuals not participating in group meetings can be detrimental to their peers' grades. With students not doing their work on time, it can force others to take an extra load to complete someone else's work before the due date. Not only is the lack of communication and the lack of not only is it the lack of communication and technology, most students are currently working now since we're all at home, so they don't have time to meet up with their group mates. I currently understand that Towson is planning on going full in-class sessions by fall 2021. So this bill might not be in action by then, but just in case if anything happens and they have to transition from in-person to online, or hopefully not, another pandemic happens in the future, that this bill should be taken into action. I feel as though ever since the pandemic started, social activity isn't the same as it used to be in person. So many students are not communicating with one another. I've also done small research. It was hard to find like actual statistics, but I found a student who is a senior at Pace University. She did a survey on Instagram, and out of the 24 students who voted about group projects online, 22 of the students disagreed with group projects being distributed online. And with that, I yield. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Chief of Staff Ambush, you have a question?
Yeah, my question is, when writing the bill, have you considered, and this is not a recommendation, have you considered maybe making it so that if there are group projects online that students can opt out and choose to do on their own? Because I'm currently at 2 of my 4 classes. It's a final group project. It's the most annoying thing in the world. And when I asked the professor both times, they said I had to be in this group project. But I could imagine like maybe a group of like 3 friends who are in a class together might want to do a group project. I think it really depends on the student. I'm someone who I just prefer to do it on my own. So like, have you considered like maybe adding a part that's less like no group projects, but more like if there are group projects that students have the right to kind of opt out when in an online space?
I haven't really thought about it because I'm also a person that likes to work on their own, gets the work done much faster. But since you mentioned it, it could be incorporated into this bill as a suggestion to the professors that, hey, I feel more comfortable doing this project on my own, find it much easier. So
Senator Rink, I'm not sure if you had a question or a comment, but yeah.
I have a comment now, sorry. It's not like a recommendation, but I was wondering if it might be beneficial to do a survey of Towson students and see how they respond, to see if there could be, like Chief of Staff Ambush said, another whereas section about our specific student population's response to group projects. Because I agree that there's probably a population who might really like them and then a population who probably hates them. So I think that might be beneficial.
Hey, Director DMA.
Just a comment to like add on to what Chief of Staff Ambush was saying. I definitely agree that instead of like doing something that's like a removal or something that's like permanent, like, oh, you can't do this, it's better to have students have the option of like opting out of it or like a separate assignment. I've seen definitely from experience that professors or like people in the provost office don't take well to like certain bills that are like remove this or like don't do that. It's better to have like optional things. And also like just like logistically or like just when it comes to what professors can do with their classes, there's with having this bill in mind, it won't really do anything because professors have a lot of control over their classes. And this is not something Towson University nor like the provost office or anything can control. So keeping professors in mind, since they have the control over this, it would be better to have an optional version. And maybe more professors will be like more open to that. So yeah.
Director Fishkind, you have a comment?
Yeah, I was just gonna also say like maybe defining, not necessarily defining, but like kind of saying what a group project entails, because I know there can be times where like we're split up into breakout rooms and then we have to like submit some type of like exit paper or whatever, and that would technically be like as a group, but whether or not that would be considered in this type of bill. And yeah, with that I yield.
Director Brown, you have a comment?
Oh, I did, but Director Fishkind kind of cleared it up, like just to get more specific, because I understand that could possibly be like a situation that they might bring up. So just like making it specific on like not on in class, activities, but like actual like graded projects to have this type of legislation be enforced with virtual courses. I think it's a great idea.
Senator Teddy, you have a comment?
Yeah, I was just gonna say with what everyone is saying, I really like what everybody's saying about this bill. And if the rest of the Senate is like for it too, I think we should table this so it can go back so we can do further research for Towson, like we were saying, like for Towson students, because I feel like that will hold more weight than saying Pace University, because like we don't necessarily like know, or it doesn't necessarily apply to as much to Towson University students. So I do think we should go back and do that research and bring it back to the bill so it holds more weight, and do change it to make it so it says that it is an optional thing instead of saying removal. I don't know if that's something we can do right now, but I feel like adding the research to it makes it more, yeah.
Attorney General Robinson, you have a comment?
Also, as like a suggestion, first of all, I love this bill. Ooh, it speaks to me because group projects this semester, terrible. Anyway, aside from that, I also feel like the purpose, I think, of these professors trying to, push group projects is for student interaction. Obviously, in a virtual environment, it's super hard to get students to interact. A lot of times I know when we're in breakout rooms, it's like black screens and nobody's talking. So I feel like also if we're going to say, okay, like we really don't want to do the group project, we should also offer alternatives as far as student interaction, right? Because really group projects are kind of the only way for the professors to get that student interaction they're looking for. So yeah, that's all.
Assistant Director Ferguson, you have a comment?
Yeah, I wanted to start off by saying that I love this bill. I know that we've brought up a lot of reservations about how there isn't that much research behind it, but I think that we should be mindful that there might not be that much research because virtual group projects and virtual group learning is kind of a new environment for all of us right now. So I'm really proud of you for finding these gaps and like realizing that there is something that needs to be researched and studied further. And I'm eager to see what that data looks like for Towson University and beyond.
Thank you. And one thing I would like to add on as another suggestion. I know when I did a group project, I believe it was last semester. What my professor did was he let us we had like a worksheet where we rate our group members, and so basically we just said like, okay, this person did X, Y, and Z amount of work, or this person did nothing, and it was completely anonymous, and we submitted it to the professor, and it kind of, well, obviously the end result of what we did for our project, but also, okay, I see this person did blank, this person didn't do anything, so I'm going to meet with them and see what the issue was, and then talk to them like that, and I see that these people did their work, and I'm gonna give them like the better grade, if that makes sense. That's just another suggestion. And Senator Goodman, you have a comment?
Well, I appreciate the data we've pulled here from this survey conducted at Pace University up in New York City. I think it doesn't reflect well with that of the Towson student body, considering Pace, smaller university, smaller campus size. I think, I just think, and I would highly suggest that it would probably be a good idea for those, who are working on this bill too. Or if anyone else is interested in it, maybe we should get our own survey here on Towson's campus or within the Towson University community to assess, what people think about group projects. We have our own homegrown sample, basically.
Point of information. Senator.
You go ahead. I just want to call you, but.
Oh, point of information.
Yes, Vice President DeVoe.
Thank you. Senator Teddy, was that a motion?
No, not yet.
Okay.
All right, is there any further discussion?
And I'm sorry, I just have another question. If I did want to make a motion, will I do it at this time? Okay. So I move that we table this until we can do our survey and kind of add a section that says, or change it to say to make it optional. I don't know if that makes sense, but yes.
Just to clarify, you said table it to have it optional or have further research?
Yes, optional and further research.
Okay.
Instead of saying to just completely remove, yeah.
Okay. Is there a second?
Senator Goodman, I second that motion.
Is there any discussion? If not, we'll now move into a vote to table this bill based on there being studies to make group projects optional and further research be provided. All those in favor? All opposed? Abstaining? The Thank you, Director Kapoor and Assistant Director Ferguson. The vote count is 9 in favor. So with that, the motion passes to table this bill. And sorry about that. They're riding their motorcycles out there. So sorry if you guys can hear it. All right. Are there any announcements? Yes.
Announcement.
Oh.
Go ahead, Attorney General Robinson.
Okay. I'm so sorry. So when you were going through Senate Bill number 4, I had a friendly amendment. President was just spelled wrong. That was it.
I was just gonna announce we have Senator of the Week as well as Department of the Week. So I'll start with Senator of the Week, and then Chief of Staff Ambush will announce the Department of the Week. So this senator, as you probably could tell from this General Assembly, is always engaged, is always on top of things, has very clear understanding of SGA protocol. I'm very proud of seeing how this person has developed over the course of this school year. I'm very, very proud to have them in the Senate. And I'm trying to be conscious of pronouns so you guys won't know. I'm just kidding. Yes, we really, really love this person, and we are so grateful to have them here with us. So the Senator of the Week today is Senator Teddy. Look at the smile. I love it.
Thank you. Oh my God. Not me saying yay. I said yay because I thought it was going to be somebody else, but my bad.
Chief of Staff Ambush.
Hello, everyone. So our Department of the Week is a department that is about to put on a really good show and already put on a really good show and doing just a lot of really amazing things around campus. And we just have to shout them out every single time. And so the Department of the Week is the Campus Activities Board for putting on an amazing in-person event and online events all semester.
Thank you, guys. Oh my gosh, thank you.
Period. And I love the 3D, the 360 boomerang was so cool.
All right. Are there any more announcements?
I have one.
Yes, Dr. Yami.
Okay. So I don't know if you guys know, I'm gonna put the flyer in the chat too. We have like different flyers coming out, but SGA is sponsoring Students Helping Honduras's Instagram live raffle, and that's where you can win Apple AirPod Pros and then an iHome Mini. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called, the speaker, and then the AirPods Pros. So in order to win that, there's going to be raffles that are going on, and then we're going to announce the winner during our Instagram live on the 26th. So watch out for that. It's going to be on the SHH Towson Instagram page, and also I'm going to text or email Director Perot to see if we can like post it on the SGA Instagram as well. But look out for that. It's on the Instagram right now, and I'll send it on the group chat as well. So that's it.
All right, thank you for that. Are there any more announcements? If not, are there any motions on the floor?
Senator Goodman, I move that we adjourn if there are no further announcements.
Is there a second?
Senator Rink, second.
Was Senator Rink, did you second? Was Senator Teddy? I wasn't sure.
I did.
Okay, just wanted to make sure. Is there any discussion? If not, then we'll now move into a vote to adjourn. All those in favor? All opposed? Abstaining? Thank you, Assistant Director Ferguson. The vote count is 9 in favor.